Hello out there. This is Imperatordavius, the fedora-wearing Reshiram, coming back to you with Tactical Debates, Part 2 of our last series. Coming back to me once again to help me debate this topic are once again Roll and Sunny. Welcome back, you two. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks.
Heyo.
All right, let's just get right back into what we were talking about last time. Last time we were talking about Kingraja talking about how Sin doesn't admit to clickbaiting and doesn't get quote unquote get real with his audience. I mean, and continues his stuff even has a Patreon. I mean, I think we pretty much said that that Sin is free to do that. I mean, that's how he makes his money. I mean, he doesn't have to admit to anything. I believe one of you said something like along that line.
I think Roll and I, maybe you two, Impy, can agree that Raja is kind of being a hypocrite about it. Not even kind of, he is being a hypocrite about it.
Now. We remember this is tactical debate. We try to keep the pointing blame thing to a minimum. We're just perhaps maybe Raja has a point or two. That's what we're here to talk about. I mean, does he have a point on some of these these things he says? That's what this debate is about. We're not saying Raja is bad or anything, or Sin is a saint. We're here just to talk about the points and the facts.
I mean, if he wants to say that the way Sin's handling his videos to make money, then I mean, sure, he could talk about it as much as he wants.
Alright, I think we'll move on from that topic. Let's move on to... He says that Sin and Delphi are the quote-unquote cancer of TF2. Do you think he may have a point there? I mean, we have seen Sin, and we've definitely seen Delphi uploading some of the less popular things about TF2. Like, we've seen the exploits, we've seen the glitches, we've seen them saying, hey, there's this new glitch. You can do it this way, this is how you do it. So, in that regard, perhaps Kingraja is right in that. I mean, they do tend to promote, perhaps not really promote, but they do upload some of the less positive aspects of TF2. But would you say that they are the quote-unquote cancer of TF2?
For Sin, not at all. All he really does is just make highlight videos. Unlike Delphi explains how to do these exploits all the time.
Well, I kind of think that when it comes to like some of the videos that when they're exploiting it, they really take. For me, I feel like when I watch it, they really take it to the next level, and just show how like detrimental it is. But they do it in a way where they're out in public servers against other people, and in a way, they're really trolling other people. I think that's what he means by cancerous.
I do know
In
that
that sort of context.
I do know that Delphi, I think he has his own server where he does these kind of things, so
where
he does it
perhaps
in like a a secure environment with other people.
But we have also seen him go into public servers and just dominate or just decimate poor servers that are having a blast. But we have also seen that when he does do this, he shows how game-breaking these glitches is, or how game-breaking these glitches are. I mean, they're not hapless little. Oh hey, look the scout is suddenly 10 feet taller or something. No. These are seriously game-breaking glitches that can potentially just destroy servers. So, and he does that.
I find it weird though. Like the most game-breaking one I believe is the crouch exploit, where you can get behind the map as an engineer, build some teleporters, build some sentries right next to somebody's spawn, and just camp them for days. and why hasn't that been fixed? So many people
I mean,
are
he
doing
does.
it too.
Well, perhaps in the future, perhaps down the road, it will get fixed. But Delphi does. I mean, his videos aren't necessarily the best things on YouTube. When he uploads something, you know it's serious, and you know Valve has to be watching because it pretty much gets fixed really quickly if it's that serious, which it is most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not uploading daily. He's not uploading daily exploit glitches. No, he uploads like maybe once a week or so, and when it's because he's found a really super serious glitch or exploit, and he records it. He makes sure it gets done, and it just it definitely does get fixed pretty quickly.
I
mean, we all saw how fast Valve kept on fixing that payload glitch where pyro or people's weapons triggered the explosion at the end. We saw how fast they kept fixing it, but why don't you take it away, Roll?
I think like the one exploit like seriously that got fixed like right away was the what was it like you have like the ball and anyone around you gets like the same speed as you do.
The pastime exploit. Yeah.
Oh god,
Yeah,
I
the
remember
pastime
that one.
exploit. I watched that and
Fast
it's
moving
ridiculous
heavies.
How like these fast moving heavies are just killing like people left and right, and they're
Spun up,
spawn
yeah.
camping. But at the same time, like it wasn't that long until that exploit got fixed.
Yeah, people had their last for a few days, but it got fixed. And it's
Though
because
to be fair, that exploit was actually really easy to discover. Even I discovered it when they first released Pastime.
yeah, but it was but as soon as it went on YouTube, it was shown to be a very serious exploit. So, and Valve patched it pretty quickly. So, in that regard, Delphy's videos, while they may not be the best things on YouTube, and while they might not be the most positive things on YouTube, they're not necessarily cancer. I mean, sure, to the people who...
Delphy can do good, Delphy can do bad. Bad as in people watch his videos and sometimes they want to pull off the exploits. Good as in he finds these exploits. I'm pretty sure he has a team where they find these exploits really hard, show them to Valve, hopefully they can fix it.
Hey, if you want to, sometimes you gotta get your feet dirty. No one can control the jerks of the world, but you can at least try to stem the tide.
And I'm pretty sure that like, even though it looks like it's fixed, they sometimes or like always find some other way just to do it again. Like later on after like they patched it up.
Well, that's what people like to do. But now, moving on to our next point. Kingraja says that none of Delphy's videos... He says, quote unquote, no videos that don't have exploit in its title, and he is taking everything that is killing TF2 and making money off of it. So, what do you think why do you think he would possibly why do you think he would say something like that? Do you guys have any possible ideas as to why he would say something like that?
I would rather answer that with the question, is he really killing TF2? I mean, he's been doing this like exploit stuff for a couple years now.
And also like Kingraja made like a video about like what's killing TF2, and even him in that video did not mention either like Delphi or like Sin, but him saying that these videos or what they're doing is killing TF2.
Now, I think let me rephrase it. He says that none of Delphy's videos don't have the word exploit in its title, and he's taking everything that is quote unquote killing TF2 and making money off of it. So he's saying that Delphy takes makes videos of everything that is killing TF2, and he's making money off of it. So, once again, same question rephrased. Let me start off with Sunny. Do you have any words?
I mean, I've got nothing. He's just... It's what he does. It's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, if he means by, like... It's hard to say, like... Because there's so many factors of, like, quote-unquote, killing TF2. I don't think one person is just enough to, quote-unquote, kill TF2 or killing TF2.
I mean, in my opinion, the thing that could kill TF2 is a good community of cheaters. Not somebody who's going out of his way to find all these weird exploits.
And post them on YouTube.
Yeah, it's probably like he's just letting most of these people who want to like troll or like exploit like public servers and kind of like ruin like the fun for like other people. I think that's probably like what he's getting at.
Alright, so he probably doesn't really, he's not really making much sense with that. I mean, Delphi, that's what Delphi does. He makes his living off of YouTube by uploading videos of exploits, glitches that he finds, and he shows how game breaking they can be. I mean, that in and of itself is not everything that is killing YouTube, but it is in fact a part of what does what does drive people away from TF2. But in and of itself, I don't think that there's any. Perhaps there isn't anything. I just can't see what his claim or the point for that is after this little discussion. I mean,
unless he's like, oh my god, he's just recording gameplay, like all these people being miserable while he's exploiting or something. I don't know.
And meanwhile, Delphi is conging and having a blast.
I mean, most of the time it's, you know, people just the game's old, as he did say in his other video, that like, you know, people playing other games, and TF2 is an old game. But showed in that kind of light.
Alright, well, I think we can leave that point down. Let's move on to our next point. Kingraja also mentions that Delphi is, here's your favorite word, clickbaiting. So Kingraja also says that Delphi is clickbaiting.
He does not clickbait at all. He just puts TF2, this is the exploit, done. Or maybe like epic moment, episode, whatever, done.
So pretty much you two would probably say it's similar to what Sin does, correct?
Pretty much.
Well, what about you, Ro?
I can't really go on about clickbaiting because clickbaiting is just something that everybody on YouTube does nowadays to catch people's attention to watch their videos. And you can't really blame them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like right now I'm like looking at like Delphi's channel and videos, and like just hear some of these titles like TF2, how to get rid of the jack exploit. Like that in itself is already like self-explanatory. Like, okay, so how do you get rid of the jack?
I feel like clickbait could be its own debate for like another time.
Yeah, let's leave that to another debate, perhaps. Now, he says Delphi promotes the use of exploits as well. Yeah, do you think he'd have any points for why Raja would say something like that? You have your thoughts, you two?
By use of exploits?
Yeah, he promotes the use of exploits.
I guess probably if what you mean by that is maybe like, you know, him doing it on public servers and going off and like, you know, showing how like bad it is to like, you know,
step by step how to do it. I believe that's what he's referring to.
Oh. Well,
He says, yeah, he promotes the use of exploits because he shows people step by step how it's done.
technically, like you can take it like either which way. To me, I find it like okay, so that's how you do it, and like for a dev, it would be easier for them to know. Okay, so this is how they do it, and we have to go through the code and figure it out. But for a player who wants to like troll or grief, they can take that and use it for their own, fuel to the fire. So in a way, it can be taken both ways. Just not like, what like he doesn't really have any intention to like, hey, like he doesn't say like, oh yeah, you should do this glitch or everyone should do this.
Yeah, he doesn't promote or say, hey everyone, do this, ruin everyone's day. But at the same time, you would say it's a sort of unexpected side effect. I mean, it's not something he intended to do, but people are going to do it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's up to the viewers what they do with the knowledge that they've seen. So
With
as far
great
as...
power comes great responsibility.
Basically.
Yeah.
And with a great hat comes a great person.
I mean, like, you can say, like, half of his viewers are just there to, like, just be entertained by, like, the exploits in the game. Or, like, the other half of his viewers are just there to, like, okay, learn, and then do it in-game.
Or even stop people from doing it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do watch his videos sometimes. It's really interesting to see how these exploits are done, how
And
disruptive
how
they
these
can
people
be.
find them, that's another thing.
And I mean, it's not
the
like
patience, the persistence, and
people,
the fact
people
that they
don't
go
really
with...
do much damage by learning these exploits and going out and doing it in pubs because, I mean, when people do find you doing an exploit on pubs, they're probably likely to kick you or say something about you.
Yeah.
Or in my case, just ignore me.
Sometimes they fail.
That too.
Get
But
out
let's move on now. He talks about how the next point of interest is that Raja says, or he talks about how Delphi is being a rager, saying how he comes in and, pardon my French, but he comes in and F everyone up. Or, yeah, he F'd everything up by just coming in and doing his exploits and stuff.
Okay, I've seen that part of the video where he basically says that, and like he shows the forum post about like the guy who like made the map, and Delphi just goes on there and tries to exploit the map. Now, I don't know what this guy's like deal is in a way, but literally Delphi just went on there to see if this map was like exploitable. See like where the loopholes, quote unquote loopholes, are in this map, so he can fix it.
Yeah, I mean, guess that is one thing, one aspect.
But he could like make his own private server or just play offline on the map and do it himself there, unless he needs other people. Well, then again, he could just roll with the private server.
Yeah, but at the same
really
time, when
no point for him to be going on pubs to discover exploits.
no, but then again, when he does go on pubs and when he does do his thing, build sentry in the walls, build sentry underneath the enemy's spawn.
I can understand.
They get done.
These
things get, yeah, it gets frustrating for the people who are suffering. But at the same time, when he does something like that, it's serious. I mean, people take that seriously. I mean, sure, there'll be a moment of hate or something. I mean, people will be complaining that this is happening, but it gets fixed. I mean, he makes sure that people see it. I mean, there's two sides to every coin. There's the side that everyone hates it and everyone doesn't like how he's doing this, but on the other side, this is how problems are fixed. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if Delphi was a pretty bad person, nobody would be even watching his videos.
Well, if he wanted to be really bad, I think he wouldn't be uploading these videos.
I mean, like even in like the forum posts, like the guy says it was a minor clipping issue, that was an easy fix. But right after the work of launching to the entire community, they had to turn around and rush to patch it because of him. Like for one, they didn't need to rush it. They could have just took their time to at least, figure out how to like fix the issue. But like,
But
you
they did,
know,
yeah, they definitely did rush the fix. That is one thing, though. Because of Delphi, they got the fix done really quickly, so it didn't happen again.
so then my question is, what if it wasn't Delphi and it was someone else doing it? No,
Probably would be the same thing.
I
exactly.
mean, unless I check his Steam ID.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If it were someone else besides Delphi, or say someone else besides Delphi doing what Delphi is doing, I mean, it wouldn't be Delphi. It would be someone else. But let's move on to our next and final point. He says that Sin, now this is probably one of his strongest points, but he proceeds to say that Sin promotes exploits and hacks. Now, why would he say something like that? I mean, I'm a Reshiram and I'm scratching my head trying to figure, while wearing my fedora, I'm trying to figure out where is the truth in this statement? I mean, what is the point of this statement? I mean, is there anything that you guys could possibly say to possibly legitimize this claim? I mean, it may be wrong, maybe a poorly phrased sentence, but why would he say something like this?
I mean, it's not like Sin does the exact same content as Delphi.
Yeah, I mean, Delphi is just mostly just exploits and
We've
like
been
him
over it
trolling
before.
patients.
All Sin does is highlight reels and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
we do know also that Sin does from time to time upload stuff, that Delphi sends him.
That involve exploiting, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can see what he means there. And I do know people got a bit riled up when he made a post on this short circuit exploit. This is actually what started everything. And he typed Valve fixed this exploit, sadly. That apparently got a couple of people pissed off.
I think he meant it in like a joking standpoint. I mean, I don't think he really was sad that Valve fixed it. I think he was just being sarcastically sad. But that's my opinion, and I don't want my opinion to affect anyone's judgments.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I kind of think it was like, well, it was more of those. It was fun while it lasted, but
Yeah, I mean, I personally myself loved the instant respawn exploit for MVM, in which if I got the healing beam on someone just as they died, they would instantly respawn and I wouldn't, they instantly revive and I wouldn't have to spend 4 or 5 seconds running around a giant heavy trying to revive my partner. I mean, I got that. I was able to do that for a good 2 years, but now I can no longer do it, and I'm sad that they fixed it, that they fixed that exploit. But at the same time, it doesn't affect me in any way. I mean, I'm sad that I can't do it anymore, but you know what? I move on. I'm a Reshiram. I can deal with it. It just makes my job a little harder. So I think that pretty much wraps up our debate here for this segment of tactical debates. Once again, it's clear Kingraja and Sin go back a bit, but Kingraja does have some logic to his points. But at the same time, it doesn't seem like that Kingraja might have been speaking in the clearest of sense for this video.
Like he needed to do maybe a little bit more research, maybe clear his mind.
Yeah,
come at it with a calm head, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't sound so ranty, and he
perhaps
organized
he wouldn't,
and got more evidence,
he wouldn't be getting the hate that he's currently getting. I mean, even Muselk calls him out on this. I mean, when another popular YouTuber calls out another popular YouTuber because because they're putting hate on another popular YouTuber, this is when it's clear that something is going on. And we here at Tech Debates, we don't want to add fuel to the fire. We're here just to look at the facts. This Reshiram just wants to discover the truth of why are these people making such a hissy fit right now.
I want to watch that video.
No, you can watch that video some other time, but in any case, I'm Imperatordavius. This has been Roll and
Hey,
Sunny.
guys.
We hope you come visit us next time for our next tactical debate. What that is, I don't know. Until then, stay tuned, my fellow tacticians. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Fluttershy, the channel audio director and Imperator's assistant. If you enjoyed the debate and discussion topic, you should leave a like or even a comment to tell us how you felt about it. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing. Imperator is always thinking of other things to discuss. Now until next time, my fellow tacticians, continue to think tactically.